I'd like to make a motion to.
Let's see, what else do you guys got going on today?
Gotta love technology.
Okay.
As soon as Dean leaves.
Maybe that was the problem.
Solves a lot of problems.
We had a clear screen so we could see what Lisa's watching.
I know, exactly.
Watching the glasses.
Yeah. Lisa, you got Netflix going on over there too?
No?
You see the reflection?
Yeah, the reflection of your screen looks like you've got like you're watching a movie in the background.
A surfing movie.
This
Water.
is you guys, and this is my computer at work.
We're all set whenever you guys are ready. I apologize.
Oh, sure.
And
I
my
agree.
phone.
We can
No
wait
problem.
for
Dean.
we'll wait for Dean to get back.
So we're not live, correct?
We are
You
live.
know,
We are. We are.
yeah.
Just wanted to confirm.
Mhm.
It's a short intermission.
Oh my goodness. Daniel, you very well may preside over the shortest meeting ever.
It's no.
Yeah, don't count on it. We'll give him a chance, and he's got a year to do it. He hasn't accepted the position yet.
No, I know,
make a
you
lot
know.
of assumptions.
You know, we may have three votes that
is
say,
true.
you know what?
You may get, a challenger from unknown ranks to come up and say, no, I should be mayor.
Okay. See, fortunately, you guys don't have any opportunity to make any changes before that. I used to kick you out and then accept the spot.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. There he is. Up and going. Okay. So, Mr. McGrath, you're up.
Mr. Mayor. I don't know, there's not really, we will look into the
Yeah.
camera, but
So we can do it right here.
on behalf of Ripon City Council and the city of Ripon, just want to congratulate you. Thank you for your service to the city. Present you with plaque here in recognition of your 8 years of service.
Awesome.
I believe twice as mayor. So thank you. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and work with you. It's been just a lot of fun. And I know everybody appreciates everything you've done. We wish you well and good luck in the future. You're always welcome back. I know this is your home. So
Thank you.
yeah, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hold it. Shake your hand.
I don't want to catch anything.
Okay.
And I don't know if anybody else would like to
Yeah.
speak. We'll give everybody else the
Yeah.
opportunity to do that as well. So I don't know if anybody wants to go first. Mike?
Yeah.
So Jake,
Oh, he's got a prepared statement.
it's really been a lot of fun working with you. You know, I appreciate when you remember the city you're in when you call the meeting to order, but seriously, you're a very smart young man. I can say that because I'm old. And I think you represented the city well. And what I'd like to encourage you to do is I understand you've got things going on, building your career and getting married and things like that. But I really want to encourage you to think about wherever you land, whether it's back here or someplace else, get and stay involved with politics, because I think you've done a very good job. And I think we need people like you representing us throughout this entire state. So I'd really like to see you do that.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you've done.
That
And
means a lot. Yeah.
thank you for your friendship as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a great 8 years. I wouldn't have traded it for anything else. I mean, this last year was, I think, by anybody's standards, hectic and chaotic. And I'm extremely proud of the work that we did here at the council, doing what we needed to do to provide relief for COVID, to make sure that our community was safe. And ultimately, at the end of the day, working with you guys and our ability to trust the people of our town to do the right thing. I think it's fantastic. I mean, I wouldn't trade this for anything. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and talking with you in private and kind of, learning more about you and kind of getting your perspective on things and where everybody is coming from and everybody's input. And so, no, it's been a fantastic time. So thank you. So, and with that,
Whoa.
oh, I almost got out of here in time.
I said last month I was going to save it for tonight. So I did. I'll make it relatively short. 8 years ago, when Jake and I were first elected to the city council, his mother came up to me shortly after the election and said, "Will you please keep an eye on him?" And I said I would be glad to do that. And I can honestly say, over the ensuing 8 years, Jake has been an excellent city councilman. He has been very aware of the needs of the community and has been great to work with, trying to deal with issues and projects and that sort of thing. And this town is much better off than it was 8 years ago. And a lot of that is because we had Jake on the city council, and he has a legacy, and it's very positive. So I wish you all the best, Jake. And trust me, I'm going to keep an eye on you even after you're gone.
Thank you, Leo.
Gone but not forgotten.
Gone but not forgotten.
We know where you're at.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
And then I'll
Sir?
move on. I'll let you guys go ahead and
Okay, I think Lisa's next.
Yes, at this time, I will administer the oath of office to the newly elected council members. Daniel and Tim, if you can come to the front of the dais, and Leo, we will have you on the screen. All right, go ahead.
Wait, not yet. I don't stand up. Oh, I guess I do.
Where do you? There we go. If the three of you could please raise your right hands.
If you get close enough to Tim and I will actually.
I state your name, Councilmember DeGraff. Zuber
Leo Zuber,
and Tim Wheeler. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter, and will do so in a manner which is at all times in the best interests of the citizens of the city of Ripon. And I do further swear that during such time that I am a member of the city of Ripon, I will not advocate nor become a member of any party or organization, political or otherwise, that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States or of the state of California by force or violence or other unlawful means. If you agree, you say I do. What is your answer, Daniel DeGraff? Leo Zuber?
I do.
Tim Wheeler?
You.
Fantastic. We will continue into the council reorganization. The council reorganization is dictated by section 2.04020 of the Ripon Municipal Code. It states that the designated mayor and vice mayor must be queried to accept or decline the positions. Daniel DeGraff, do you wish to serve in the position of mayor?
I do.
Dean Euchre, do you wish to serve in the position of vice mayor?
I do.
The code also states that the council seats shall be noted in the as they are in the agenda. So seat 1 will be for Mayor Daniel DeGraff, seat 2 for Vice Mayor as Dean Euchre, seat 3 for Council Member Mike Restucia, seat 4 for Council Member is Leo Zuber, and seat 5 for Council Member of Tim Wheeler. So please take your respective seats.
Okay.
Vice Mayor.
And Mr. Mayor, you may take over the meeting whenever everyone is situated.
Okay. This is really out of whack here. I'm gonna move this. Well, I'm just gonna go to this side. We'll get it figured out here. Sorry. This is already good here. Okay, so up next, approval of the agenda. And I believe we have things that need to be pulled. Mr. Zuber has requested to pull items 1.3A, 1.4A. I have pulled 1.4B, and Mr. Zuber has pulled 1.4E. So we need a motion to approve.
What was it, Lisa, 1.3C?
1.3C?
That's correct.
1.3C, yes.
Okay. So we need an approval of the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second,
And since Leo is remote, we will do a roll call vote.
Oh, yeah, try it out.
Lisa?
Councilmember Tim Wheeler,
Yes.
Leo Zuber,
yes.
Mike Restuccia,
Yes.
Dean Euchre, Daniel DeGraff.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Now we will move on to the consent calendar. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar as amended?
I'll move to approve as amended.
Second.
Lisa, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Tim Wheeler,
Yes.
Leo Zuber,
Yes.
Mike Restuccia,
Yes.
Dean Euchre, Daniel DeGraff.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, items that were pulled, if it's okay with everybody, we will go through them and then take them all for a vote at the same time.
Me.
Okay, hearing no objection, we'll go to 1.3A.
I don't have any questions for 1.3. I just wanted to commend Lisa for an excellent job with this audit. Last month, I got it pretty close to the meeting, didn't have a chance to look it over. I did, had some questions, went in, talked to her. Everything now makes sense. And as in the recent past, she's done an outstanding job getting this ready. And I just wanted to note that for the record.
And I want to agree with Leo. Excellent job, as always.
Thank you. It definitely is a team effort.
Oh, stop.
All right,
What's next?
1.3C, Mr. Restuccia.
Okay, 1.3C. So let me see if I can. So first of all, I think this is an excellent thing to do. I'm just going to read my note on here and see if it makes sense. It says that this is beginning after 1/1/20, and then it says we're going to make it effective for the calendar year 2021. And so I talked to Lisa about it, which makes sense, but that means people won't be able to defer until 2022. And I suggested, why not just do it now if somebody's got money available? There may not be, but if somebody has $100 or $200 sitting there, they're now by the end of the year going to scramble to see if they can prepay something. And I'm just saying, and Lisa said it doesn't create an accounting problem, it doesn't change anything. I'm just suggesting that we start it effective 1/1/2020, so that if something can carry over until next year, 2021 instead, they're able to do that. Did I explain that well, Lisa?
Yes.
Okay.
And I do not think there's a problem with that. If you guys want to approve it that way, and I will just inform Bohannon, and if anything comes back, I'll let you know.
Okay.
I have one question then. So this runs a calendar year and not a fiscal year.
Correct.
That's correct.
Okay.
It's same with the 1099s, right? I mean, it's the same timing of those. So with that, if you're okay with that, everybody, with that change, it doesn't affect anything other. It benefits the people this year. I'll make a motion, we approve it with that change if it can be implemented.
I'll second.
And Lisa, we just want to take that motion through with.
Oh, wait. Are we going to do it all at once, or you want to do this one
Let's do
separate?
it all at once and then make a motion that gets addressed that way.
Okay.
And everything else gets approved however else we need to have approved it. So if we're done on that one, 1.4A, Leo.
Well, for 1.48, what is a sonic gun cleaner?
What do you care? It's donated. It's, so I went back, they by hand clean their guns in the police department, which takes about 10 man hours a year. This cuts it down to about, 10 man days a year. This, if we paid for it through city money, the payback would be 8 months. So whatever that math turns out to be, it cleans the guns. Instead of cleaning them by hand, you put them in there, multiple guns at a time, you walk away, you come back, they're clean, rather than sitting there by hand and having to scrub it and things like that. So it actually is, it makes it much more efficient for the department to be able to clean their guns.
Thanks for the explanation, and thanks for the donation, Mr. Restuccia.
You bet.
1.4B, I don't have any questions just along the same lines. These donations, often we are given donations from members of the public, and unfortunately we have a process that's somewhat cumbersome, and they have to fill out paperwork and has to be approved by council. And it's just something that creates an extra burden to people being able to do some of these things. And just want to say thank you to both the Restucia family and the Van Union family for their donations to the city and to, for supporting our police department. Those things help provide a lot of resources to our city and to the police, and it's greatly appreciated. And we just, yeah, very, very thankful that you continue to do that. So thank you to everyone who supports our police department, our staff. And 1.4E, I believe there's Leo, that was pulled by you, and I believe there's public comment as well.
There is, yeah.
Well, do you want to read the public comment and then do me, or vice versa?
Sure, let's hear the public comment first.
All right.
I have a public comment submitted by Don and Terry Hardin. We live at 522 North Wilma, the middle house of the 3 homes that are affected by the flooding. We have met with Elizabeth and seen the proposed plans for our homes. We're not in favor of the yard being raised and more dirt brought in. Yes, this would potentially help during some of the rain, but if there is a heavy rain, it would make it worse. If a larger part of our front yard is raised, there is even less room for the water to absorb or run than there currently is. Our driveway and yard have already been raised once. As far as diverting the water that comes from the overpass, that would be great as long as it's not drained onto the Ripon Christian property, only to run through the back of our properties. And again, submitted by Don and Terry Hardin at 522 North Wilma Avenue. And I have both of their phone numbers if you would like them.
Did Leo, you have questions?
Yeah, well, I have a couple. In the staff report, it mentions 3 addresses that are part of this project. And it says that 2 of the driveways are going to be raised. I guess my question is, what's going to happen to 506 Wilma? Because there's nothing in there that says that anything is going to be done.
Yes, I could take that. This is Elizabeth Quillisi, and we did plan on making a change order for that 3rd home for the driveway to also be raised there. It took a little bit more coordination with the contractor, so we did prefer that be a change order, but that work is intended. Of course, all homeowners would have to agree, just referencing Terry Hardin's public comment. And so if they did not agree, we would just do a drive over curb and transition so that there would be a better height difference, the 6 inches from the curb, but it won't be as tall as we're proposing to them with the import of dirt if they choose not to go that route. And the rain events and water draining onto their property would just happen more frequently if they don't choose to raise their driveway and just do the drive over curb. I've talked to Terry Hardin and she agrees with the drive over curb. So we would still be performing work under this contract.
Okay. I guess my next question is, we're going to raise the curbs and all that sort of thing. What are we doing with the water? I mean, if you may make it more difficult for the water to get over the top of the curb and into their yards, but it's got to go someplace. As I recall from the discussion we had before, that is part of the problem, is the water has no place to go.
Yes, so in a separate contract, we plan on diverting the overpass water to Ripon Christian property, and Ripon Christian has agreed to do that. We would grade like a trench or a basin on their property for the water to go, for the overpass water to go there. This is what council has agreed to do in our past meeting. Of course, there are additional, more expensive measures if council decides to proceed with something different. But we are planning on that work. It's going to be under a separate contract.
How does that drainage of water onto the Ripon Christian property? That is one of the issues raised in the public comment letter that was sent in. If all we do is dump the water and the ground is sloped back to the residents, all we've done is created a different way for the water to get in their yard.
Yeah, we would have to regrade. We plan to regrade that area at the bottom of the slope of the overpass, so it will pond into a trench or a type of basin. So we would grade the dirt down so that it could pond on their site.
Okay.
So is that a secondary phase that is a potential phase, or is that going to happen as well? We're just waiting.
We are going, yep, that is going to happen. We just have to get the agreement with Ripon Christian that we expect to be on the January meeting. And after we have that agreement in place, we'll proceed with the work, awarding the work.
Okay, but so the drive over curb you described, the homeowners are all okay with that?
That's correct.
Mr. Restuccia?
So Elizabeth, thanks for doing this. You know, we've been dealing with this for about 25 years or so, and I'm glad you saw it. I'm glad I saw it on the agenda, but then I didn't see this letter from Don and Terry until tonight. So I'm glad Leo pulled it and we had that discussion. I knew what you were doing and all about it and how it works, but I'm glad she sent it in. I'm glad you talked to them, because if they're not satisfied with it, it doesn't work. So we need to make sure that it's within, you know, our budget, but it also works for them. So thanks for addressing this. I appreciate it. I know we talked for a while, but hadn't rained yet, but it may. So thanks for taking care of this.
Eventually it's going to rain.
It's going to rain, and we'll, yeah.
The sooner we can take care of it, the better.
As long as they're happy with it as well, I'm okay.
Yeah, and I'd like to just note that this will not solve the problem 100% of the time. And because if we do indeed reduce the driveway height to not come up, then it will happen more frequently than I originally designed. So we may in a few years from now bring something else back to council if we still continue to see a problem there.
I think a combination of this and taking the water off of the overpass down to the basin should be a pretty good solution for most cases. Yeah. And even in the worst case, it will alleviate a portion of that. So
you're the engineer.
Thank you for the good work and the update there. Any other further questions, comments? Okay, then in that case, we will proceed to move forward for approval of 1.3A, 1.3C, 1.4A, 1.4B, and 1.4E with 1.3C with the comments Mr. Restuccia made previously.
Okay.
Is there a motion for that?
Okay, so with that said, I'll make a motion to approve all of this is Mike Restuccia for all the items.
Is there a second?
Second.
Dean beat you.
I think Leo did, but it took time to get here.
Well, I heard Dean first. Lisa, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Tim Wheeler,
Yes.
Leo Zuber,
Yes.
Mike Restuccia,
Yes.
Dean Euchre,
Yes.
Daniel DeGraff.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, moving on to resolutions. Number 2A, resolution of the Ripon City Council of the City of Ripon adopting the Small Business Assistance Grant Program Phase 2. Mr. Zeidevart.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, fellow council members. Hey, at the November 24th City Council special meeting that we had, the council did direct staff to bring back a draft version of a Phase 2 of the Small Business Assistance Grant Program. Kind of to once again help the struggling small businesses due to the ongoing economic impacts surrounding COVID. Pursuant to the discussion at the November 24th meeting, staff along with Kelly at the chamber did put together a Phase 2 draft program utilizing some of the following criteria. Since the staff report was released, also we have had some additional closures of businesses due to the state mandate that came Sunday night of additional businesses closing down the stay-at-home order. So the program basically should assist businesses that were mandated to be fully closed, such as bars. As of Sunday evening as well, we have personal services, so hair salons, nail salons, massage, places of massage. Also, gyms have been closed down, fully closed down at this point as of Sunday evening. It should also assist businesses that were forced to close all indoor operations, such as sit-down restaurants and dine-in restaurants. Also, restaurants have now also been forced to close any outdoor dining operations. They are only allowed to do takeout for their operations. It should also assist some of the businesses that are considered non-essential and therefore are operating at a limited capacity. So we do have several businesses here in town that are retail that have to operate at a 20% capacity as well. We have put a list here on the staff report of businesses that are not intended to be assisted with this program. I won't go through all of those. It was very similar to the last list that we had. A couple additions to that list though, since the last time, the last phase one of the program was we added fast food restaurants with drive-through windows that are in the highway service commercial district. They are not as impacted at this point just because of their operations and the way they operate with the drive-through windows. And just an additional note, the last time when we did phase one of the program, none of those businesses took advantage of the program. And also businesses related to the medical industry have been added as well. I think with the phase one closures back in March, the eye doctors and the dentist offices were mandated to close down. This actual phase two of the program during the closures this round, the governor has not indicated that eye doctors or dentists have to close down at this point. So that's kind of the program in a nutshell. In addition to businesses that might receive a phase two grant, the city is proposing to waive the 2021 business license fees for those businesses that are awarded the grant funds. As far as the fiscal impact, we did put a couple options in there. So there's a couple options the council can choose from. At a $2,000 per eligible business with the updated list, funding would take about $188,000. And at $3,000 per eligible business on the list, the funding would take about $282,000. The last round, the city did distribute about $216,000 of the $300 that was set aside for the grant funds during the first round, and we did help 72 local businesses here in town during phase one. Since then, the city has received $200,000 in CARES Act funding to replenish, obviously, almost exactly what we handed out during phase one, which those funds received with the CARES Act is ineligible. Grant funds are an eligible expense for that. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I turn it back over to you, Mr. Mayor. I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys might have.
Is there any questions from council?
Only one. I thought we were going to do the same amount. Why did we drop it to 2,000?
We just gave a couple options there. Just if you guys wanted to do a $2,000 option or $3,000. So I just gave you the funding that it would take to do either one. So it's up to the council.
Okay. I didn't see that option. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just read the two and stopped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leo, do you have any comments?
No, I think the report they came up with is a very thorough report. As I said last month, I think our worst position is that we're spending now the money that we would have spent the first time we did this. So we're no worse off. And if there's a second round of CARES money, which seems to be something going on out there that might happen, we could literally end up being held harmless for the whole process if we do this. So
right.
We do have businesses that need help. And I think, duplicating what we did the first time is something that we ought to really seriously consider.
Mr. Stuchek?
Yeah, so I have some comments. I like the fact that you added in there that the businesses intend to stay in business for 12 months. Last time it was, they kind of said, yes, I am going to stay in business. This kind of, I think, opens it up, because talking to Kelly, there were some businesses that felt like, I can't guarantee I'll be open 12 months. I don't know. They didn't go get the money, and maybe they still are open. So the intent is if they stay in business, and even if they close, they fulfill the requirement. Leo brought this the first time around, and I was kind of against it. I think people need to qualify, but I'm way on board right now. The only other thing I would like to add to this is the chamber spends an awful lot of time promoting this program, spends an awful lot of time helping businesses fill out the application. They spend hours the first time getting it on their website, working on the program, working with Ken, working with Kevin, helping businesses fill out the application. It would be just as easy for them to say, go see Ken, and Ken can spend the hour with the people. And instead, she's kind of taken on some of the responsibilities that we do. And yes, I understand that with businesses go away, the chamber doesn't get funded. But aside from that, I think we're using her kind of as a third party. And I would suggest that we provide some sort of funding, since they don't qualify for grant money, some sort of maybe an application processing fee, $100 an application, whatever it happens to be, something to compensate them for their time for helping us get our program out there. So that would be my proposal to include, and it's got to be part of the money we set aside. If we give all 300,000, then there's nothing left. But if we have money available, I'm suggesting that we compensate the chamber for the time and effort they're making to help our program be successful.
Thanks, Mike.
I agree with that.
I had a similar thought on the process, and if you did it up to say up $100 or up to $150, whatever the number is per application, so long as there's money left in the program based on what was allotted. Kelly and the chamber staff have done a ton of work to help put this together and help really make the program be successful. So I think that would be reasonable to consider, and we'll be curious to see what everybody thinks on that.
I have a question before I say anything else. This is probably for Tom. Tom, I sit on the chamber board. And so if there is any question here about city money going to the chamber, I'm assuming I can't be part of that discussion.
We've only ever had this a couple of times, but it kind of falls into the category of not a strict legal conflict by statute, but one that would probably have the appearance of impropriety potentially. And so I would counsel in that instance to just abstain from the vote.
So would it be best then to resolve this thing with two motions? One would be to establish the program and whatever the amount of money is. And then when the discussion comes about anything to do with the chamber, I back out.
That's fine. Yeah, that way you can participate to the maximum degree you can.
All right.
And I would say that ordinarily when you announce you have a conflict, you have to step out of the room, but you're not in the room. So
mute myself and go black and then be the
Shut them off, Dan.
Yeah.
So don't give us any ideas.
With that answer, then I'd like to make a motion that we approve the program up to $3,000. Is there any other option?
Before we get there, I think Kelly's on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kelly and Tim, I don't know if you have anything to say before we get to Kelly. Any questions, comments, maybe after Kelly?
All I wanted to say was that, I don't think it's up to 3,000. I think we want to do 3,000, right, per business, and do the max amount that
That's
last
what
time.
I set up to, but 3,000.
Yeah.
In other words, not two. I agree.
That's right. Yeah, we want to do 3,000. I totally agree with that.
Okay, so
Kelly,
if you have anything you'd like to add, Kelly Donahue, Chamber President.
That's not Kelly.
That's
Can you hear me?
Yes, now you're on.
Hello. Well, I just want to say I appreciate city staff meeting with me and consulting with me about this program. I think it means a lot to the business owners right now. They've been taken through different tiers and into a shutdown just within the last month. So this is a very difficult time. It will mean a lot I've already had businesses start to reach out to me wanting to know about this grant program. So I fully agree with the $3,000. I think that is, it was a good amount last time. It's a good amount this time. And I appreciate you thinking about the chamber and the work that we've done with the program. Again, I'm willing, last time I helped non-chamber members. I helped any business that I could. I called them all. So I want to help all the businesses get the money that they need right now. So thank you. I don't know if you have any questions.
No questions for you.
Okay.
So my motion stays.
So we have a motion to approve the program, a second to approve
At
the program
at $3,000.
$3,000. Any further comment, questions?
That includes the chamber.
No, that's a
We're gonna have to make a
separate,
separate
no, we're
item.
gonna two separate votes, so Leo can vote on this, but not on the other one.
All right, that's good. Okay.
So with that, no further comment. Lisa, can you call a vote on the motion?
Who seconded? Okay.
Councilmember Tim Wheeler,
Yes.
Leo Zuber,
Yes.
Mike Restuccia,
Yes.
Dean Euchre,
Yes,
Daniel DeGraff.
Yes.
That motion passes 5-0.
Okay, so
Now on to the same item, we're going to potentially craft a second program.
right. So separating it out, but part of the same program, I'm going to make a motion that the chamber, and I'm going to go with what the mayor's comment was, $150 per application received as a processing fee to be paid to the chamber to compensate them in some little way for the time and efforts they've spent helping us promote a city program.
Not to exceed the total of 300.
Correct.
The 300,000 that we've approved for the program. So if 290,000,
They get a grant.
295,000, they can get up to 5,000.
Correct.
Is there any comments, motion, second to the
made a
motion?
motion.
I did.
I was gonna let Tim do something over there.
Yes, sir. What do you want me to do, Dean? Oh, second. Yeah, I'll second it. Sure. Yes.
Second to the motion.
He just wants to get you on record, Dean. That's the
I was
way
doing
he
math
is.
in my head. Sorry.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to adopt the secondary portion of the program. Leo is going to abstain from this vote. So Lisa, can you do a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Tim Wheeler,
Yes.
I'll exclude Leo. Mike Restuccia,
Yes.
Dean Euchre,
Yes,
Daniel DeGraff.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 with Leo abstaining.
Okay.
Can I?
Mr. Sushi, you have like to make some comments? Yes. please
Yeah,
do.
I'd like to make a comment if I can, and I think this is the appropriate place to do it. And I wrote it down and I'm going to read it because I don't want it. It was actually 3 pages long and I cut it down. But so what I want to say, I'm going to read this. What I'm going to say is my opinion with input from others that I have spoken to. This is not at all representative of our city council unless the council agrees and would encourage input. So I'm speaking on behalf of myself. Why is the order important for all to follow except for himself and his family, donors and friends? Are the rest of us not important? He can eat inside the French Laundry, but we need to shut down outside dining per the CDC. Check it out. Outside dining has not been proven to spread the disease. In an interview available for all of us to see, Newsom said he was asked where the science is to shut down outside dining, and as usual, he talked around the issue with a smile. Well, later on I talk about, but I'll talk about it here. There was a judge in Southern California that told him he has until the end of today to bring proof that in fact the disease spreads through outside dining. And I don't know what happened. I was too busy to check it out, but I'll check it out tomorrow. He indicates, which is the fact that the ICU bed has reduced availability. Who's to blame? He's a so-called leader of the state. He's responsible for the lack of the number of beds. If he were a good leader, he would have the infrastructure in place to take care of this. He was warned in 2015 by Bill Gates and Dr. Fauci, but he preferred to make it hard for businesses to survive in California and run a large population out of the state for more competent leadership. The money he sent to China could have stayed here and helped people of California. Unconstitutional actions of government, as shown in the Superior Court decision dated 11/30/20, will not solve the problem. He was told what he's doing is unconstitutional. COVID-19 is dangerous. I'm not denying that we all need to be safe and smart. I hear wear a mask. I see more people with masks on than not. Do not attend big crowds, but large retail, Costco, Home Depot, Lowe's, and liquor stores are allowed to stay open. Is it because they have strong lobbyists, or is it because they generate sales tax? Finally, we as elected representatives of the city of Ripon need to take some actions against tyrannical actions, or we are as guilty as the tyrants. And that's defined as an extremely oppressive, unjust, or cruel leader, an absolute ruler with governs without restrictions, an oppressive, harsh, arbitrary person. I believe we need to partner with other cities in the county to fight back. Otherwise, we're no better than so-called leaders that this governor, majority leadership in state. We need to stand up for the people, not just a Band-Aid. I'm appreciative of this $3,000, but that's a Band-Aid. That's not a cure. I want everybody to remember, if you don't stand up for what you believe, you will cower and fall for anything.
Thank you for the comments, Mr. Stuccio. I don't know if anybody else has anything else to say. I think it's relevant to the discussion we just had and the program we had. And it's unfortunate that we have to go to the extremes of having to provide grants and give money to businesses just to keep them afloat. Everybody's struggling, and our governor and the state makes it more and more difficult each and every day for our businesses to survive. So I want to thank the council for their action to try and help support our businesses. And thank you, Mr. Restuccia, for your comments. And with that, we will move on to public hearings. Item 3A, annual review of development agreements. I believe we need to open the public hearing, but given this is a closed meeting, we do Ken first? Ken first. Okay, Ken. Sorry, 3A, Ken.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the annual review. We do this every year at this time to go through kind of the open development agreements, just to make sure they're in compliance with the terms that are in the development agreements themselves. The Planning Commission does review these and send their recommendations to City Council. So the Planning Commission did review the development agreements at a previous meeting. And this is this staff report is their written recommendation for approving the development agreements, that they are in good faith and in good standing. So this is, like you said, this is a public hearing. We do have to open up for public comment and see if there's anybody that is writing in, I guess, to talk about these at all or give any public testimony on them. Other than that, I will turn it back over to you, Mr. Mayor, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if you guys have any.
Given that it's a closed meeting, I guess we would just ask if there was any public comment provided prior to the meeting. I don't know if Lisa got any, or if you have any there.
I don't have any, but Lisa may.
Yeah. Lisa, was there any public comment provided on this?
There have been none.
Okay, given that there has been none, we will go ahead and close the public hearing version or portion of this and move on to, is there a motion for 3A?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept the Planning Commission's recommendation as presented.
Second.
First and a second, motion and a second. Lisa, let me have a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Tim Wheeler,
Yes.
Leo Zuber,
Yes.
Mike Restuccia,
Yes.
Dean Euchre,
Yes.
Daniel DeGraff.
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
All right, public hearings 3B, PFFP Capital Funds Annual Report. Lisa?
Yes, this is a public hearing on our annual report of capital fees for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2020, pursuant to California Government Code Section 66000. The staff report provided information for the council regarding this Public Facility Financing Plan Annual Progress Report and the requirement under Government Code Section 66000, along with how this report ties to the Fund Summary Balance Report as of June 30th. This PFFP report has been prepared in accordance with the requirements of the Government Code. Action from council is, as noted in the staff report, is to approve the annual report of capital fees for the year ending June 30th, 2020, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Anybody have any questions?
I don't have a question, but I have a statement. And it probably sounds like a broken record because I think I say this every year. But when you put all of those PFFP accounts together, the ones that are positive have to make up the money for the ones that are negative. So if we ever got to the point where we wanted to spend a significant amount of money in the positive accounts, we would get to the point where Kevin and Lisa would have to tell us, you can't spend any more because we're at zero. And the biggest negative in there is allowing you to sit where you're sitting tonight. They borrowed $6 million from the PFFP fund to build City Hall. I'm not saying that was a bad idea, but that means that the rest of those accounts have to live without the ability to spend $6 million until we collect all the money to pay it back. And as I understand it, that probably won't happen until about 2040. I'm not saying it's a bad plan. I'm not saying it's a bad program, but it is important that the council remember, you don't have all the money you might think you have by looking at that report.
Any other comments?
Well, the only comment I have is Leo's in this building sometimes too.
That wasn't an attack on us.
Now, Mike, I said, I don't have a problem with the building.
You said that you guys are sitting in the building. I'm just giving you a bad time, Leo.
I know, and I'm going to try to give it back.
I know.
He wasn't saying it was us who made that decision, so.
No, I appreciate it. You do bring it up every year, and I appreciate it, and we see it. I mean, that's just a fact. I agree.
It's a good reminder because it happened before
Yeah.
I was around, before Tim was around, so. Very good. With that, we will move to the public hearing. Given that we're closed to the public, Lisa, was there any public comment prior to the meeting?
There are no comments that have been received on this item, but Mayor, just to let you know, I did receive a follow-up email on item 1.4E, but I can make a comment about that after during reports.
Okay. Well, with that, we will close the public hearing. And is there a motion to accept the?
I'll make a motion to approve the report.
Second. Whoops.
We have a first and a second. Is there, Lisa, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Tim Wheeler,
Yes.
Leo Zuber,
Yes.
Mike Restuccia,
Yes.
Dean Euchre,
Yes.
Daniel DeGraff.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, item number 4, discussion items. That comes to me. So every year, as always, we go through the process of going to council committees. In your stack here, there's a list of, we made a few revisions to this list. In the past, we ranked the committees that you wanted to serve on 1 through 5, 1 through 9. So I made some adjustments to the form to where you could really say, do you want to serve on it? Do you not want to serve on it? Are you interested in serving on it? And then rank them, each one of them, 1 through 5, as how favorable or unfavorable it would be for you to serve on that committee. So I think it'll help me make those decisions better. Would appreciate to have them back within a week to Jane, and then she will forward them to me. And if you have any comments or things that you want to add, I also had them include a section for comments if you have a reason why you really want to serve on something. And then you also notice that under council committees, there's this code enforcement / review of citizens concerns committee, which used to be code enforcement and vehicle abatement, I think it was called before. But we'd really like to take that committee and make it a more of the go-to place for when citizens have concerns, rather than Tim receiving some comments, Dean receiving some comments, me receiving some comments, and then trying to direct that to the proper locations throughout staff. This committee would be really the ones who would receive those comments and concerns from the community, and then help them direct staff, set up meetings with staff to get items addressed, much like we've done with the Ripon Bluffs issue that's been driven out there by lots of visitors from out of town. So we'd like to really make this committee the people who are really engaged in the community and have their ears on the ground for what's going on out there and be able to bring those issues to the city. So that's one change in what we've got going on here. So You guys take some time, look at it. Mark
If
it
I
up.
can, if I can just make a comment, that citizens committee was put together and recommended by the mayor, which I think is a great idea because, instead of us haphazardly doing things, we can have a committee, almost like a 2x2, if you
Almost like a
will,
2x2.
that, takes up
Where's
citizen
that
concerns.
format?
Should be in your stack. If not, you can have this one. I don't
It's-
need it.
Thanks.
Oh, no. You're not supposed to give him one.
I don't have to give him one.
He's the one that signs the review.
Yeah. So with that, if you guys could take a look at those, if you have any questions, happy to answer any questions on that. We will go to reports, department heads. Ken, your face is up, so let's go to you first.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple items. Next Monday, we do have a planning commission meeting. We are going to be tackling that via Zoom, much like this evening's meeting here. We are looking at Dutch Bros Coffee coming to a site located near Save Mart. So that will be up for deliberation on Monday night and review of the site plan that they submitted. And secondly, I just do want to thank you for the approval tonight of the program grant, phase 2 of the grant program. We will be finishing up some applications tomorrow morning and hopefully maybe rolling this thing out as soon as tomorrow afternoon.
Good.
Obviously, with the help of the chamber, they do a great job, like you said. So we'll be working with them closely and hopefully get this thing on the ground very quickly.
All right, thanks, Ken. I'm not sure who else is on. Is James on? I can't see who the list of folks. No, James is Kai on.
Yeah, Kai's there.
Kai's on.
Kai, any report?
Apparently not.
Elizabeth.
Probably fell asleep.
Elizabeth, do you have anything to add?
I just wanted to add that I put a project list on the council member's desk showing the current projects and ongoing projects.
Elizabeth, this is Mike. Let me just make a comment. This has really been shortened down. Congratulations.
Yeah, well, thanks.
And it's actually a size I can read now. You don't have to make the font so small to fit on one page.
I do have one question. Well, it's a question. In looking at the dates, anticipated completion, shouldn't all of those in the top group of 3, shouldn't that be 20 or 21 instead of 20?
Oh, you are correct. Yes, that's a
I was
mistake.
hoping so, because I haven't figured out how to make a calendar go backwards yet.
Yes.
Other than that, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Either way, those are good looking timelines. So appreciate
They are.
getting these projects done. Let's see, is Chief on?
Hello,
Chief?
Mr. Mayor and City Council. I have nothing to report tonight.
That's a good sign. Thank you. Let's see, Lisa, you said you had public comment. Kevin.
Yes, and Kai popped up too now, I saw.
Okay, yeah, Kai, if you have anything to add, you're welcome to add.
We pop back down.
He fell back.
Oh, he's there.
Wake up.
Hi, you have anything?
You're on mute. You're on mute,
Yeah, you're
Kai.
still muted. We can't
He
hear
said
you.
no. I read his lips.
Just shake your head.
No report, it looks like.
No report.
So, okay, Lisa?
Yes, I have a follow-up email from Terry Harden on item 1.4E. She said, I don't know if you are going to discuss our issue more tonight, but Dawn, her husband, or Dawn, the other individual that was on the email, wants to make sure that the council understands that water comes out of the catch basin. It didn't just happen once during the huge rain. We had a couple years ago. It happens multiple times. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that, Lisa. Kevin?
Good evening. I just wanted to give a quick report where we're at with the general fund budget and tracking actual expenses and revenue. I'm going to attempt to share my screen here. Dan, I don't see.
So I enabled the option. Do you see the green share screen button?
Yeah, I got that. I don't see PowerPoint though.
Oh, you have to start the PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, there it is. Okay, do you see that?
Got it.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So this is the same slide I've showed the last few months, but this is tracking monthly are the red and green vertical columns on there where expenses and revenue are at, and that corresponds to the left side of the figure. The general fund balance is shown by the blue lines. The top blue line, that lighter blue line, is general fund balance that we actually had during fiscal year 1920. The dashed line on the very bottom is the what I budgeted, what I projected would be happening this current fiscal year. And the blue line that's happening in the middle that goes through November is the actual general fund balance we're currently experiencing. So to date, we're about, at least through November, we're about $370,000 less than we were compared to at this time last fiscal year. Revenue is down about $425,000 and expense is down about $55,000. So, there's really two funds that have resulted in the reduction of the revenue and some of the impacts of COVID. That is both the sales tax and what we talked about before, recreation revenue. So I just wanted to update you on both those sources. This slide is the, make it a little bigger. Oops. Sorry, I don't know why I just did that. Can you see this slide still? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this, for our sales tax, we get sales tax revenue every month. But the months that we get a true up payment is August, November, February, May. You can see this last August, it was a substantial reduction as it was compared to 2019-20 fiscal year. And a large of that was some of the misapplications that we've talked about in the past related to both Costco and Love's. So November was really the next data point when we're actually going to see a true up, and you can see it's much better than what we experienced in August. We're still dealing with the Costco misapplication. We're going to receive or continue to deal with that for a total of 6 quarters. So we have 4 more quarters to go. But so far, our sales tax revenue has been pretty consistently down about 20% since the beginning of the year. You can see the overall balance. Green line is what we experienced last fiscal year, and the purple line below that is what we're currently experiencing. And the nice thing is it's been pretty consistent, at least through November. Recreation revenue is a much more drastic decline than what we're experiencing in sales tax. Through November, revenue in recreation is down about $177,000 as compared to last fiscal year. Obviously, all the recreation programs have been canceled since March 2020. There is limited rentals of fields that happen right now, and those are or when they were allowed with the health order for conditioning, but fairly limited. So this is where we're seeing our largest decline. Right now, I'm pretty close to being done with the amended budget, and I'll begin sharing that with the budget committee and the city council starting next month. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I have one question. Kevin, with regard to recreation, you're showing us a reduced income. Do we also have reduced expenses since we're not running any programs?
Yes, we do. We have reallocated some of the staff that normally spends their time in the recreation program, and rentals of the community center, and our other halls that we lease out. There is a savings of expenses as well. You're correct.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
No, the only comment I would make is good luck putting together a budget, Kevin. I know you need to do that, but boy, I'll tell you, now we're shut down again. I don't know how you guess it there.
Right.
Shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Okay, with that, we will go to council member reports. Mr. Wheeler?
Mr.
I just want to say
Mayor,
thank
don't
you.
forget
Oh,
The city attorney.
Oh, sorry, Tom. City attorney, Mr. Terpstra.
Well, now I feel like I have to say something, but actually I was going to say that I have nothing to report. And
Yeah, I was
welcome,
reading mine.
Councilmember Wheeler. Thank you.
yeah, thanks, Tom.
And that just cost us $50 for him to say that.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Tom. Okay, Mr. Wheeler, sorry.
I was just going to say thank you to the staff who welcomed me this morning and showed me everything to use, and Jane and everyone, and Dan and everybody over that made me sign all those papers that I haven't done in 20 years. But and thanks to the council members for encouraging me along the way, and I look forward to serving the city and as much as I can. So thanks again.
All right. Mr. Zuber.
Nothing to report.
Mr. Restusha.
Yeah, I'd like to say a few comments. First, I would like to congratulate Leo and Dan. It was no doubt in my mind you guys be reelected with the good things that you've done for the city, and glad to see you on board again. I'd also like to congratulate Tim and looking forward to working with him. I also want to make a comment that I don't know if you know, but some friends of ours got elected. Carlos Vulapudua got elected to the assembly. Heath Flora got reelected to the assembly. Robert Rickman, former mayor, well, he's through Tracy until the end of the year, but he has got elected to the Board of Supervisors as well. I'd also like to congratulate Larry Medowski, Ryan Mackey, and Sherry Coburn. All those three did get elected to our fire board. Congratulations to them. And the last one, which was kind of a squeaker, but Vince Hobbs won with 71% of the vote. So congratulations to all of you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Euchre.
I'll ditto his report.
Okay.
And sorry that all the guests, you couldn't come today. So now that we have our
Now you're
elegant
taking his
mayor,
place?
I have to take his place.
No, I will still be glad to thank everyone who's listening. And as always, we appreciate the input that the members of the public give to us. Would like to congratulate Mr. Wheeler on your election to council. Welcome.
Thank you.
I will give you a piece of advice that Councilman Zuber gave to me, but you are one of us. Feel free to speak your mind. Don't hold back. That's what you're here for. So welcome, and looking forward to the next 4 years serving with you. So
Thanks, Dan.
also, Councilman Zuber, congratulations on your reelection. We're looking forward to the next 4 years. And with that, concludes my first meeting as mayor. So hopefully I didn't do too bad. I got
You
that,
only
but
screwed up a couple times.
a couple
That's good.
times. I know, we'll get it figured out.
No, actually, I think you did a really good job. You paid attention.
Yeah, I try. So we will adjourn the council meeting, move into successor agency. I'm gonna use the gavel because I can. Let's see. Let me get to this here. So Lisa, we need a roll call.
Director Tim Wheeler,
Here.
Leo Zuber,
Here.
Mike Restusha,
Present.
Vice Chairman Dean Euchre,
Here.
Chairman Daniel DeGraff.
I am here. Public session seems to close meeting. To the public, we'll ask Lisa if there's any public comment.
No comments were received from the public.
Okay, approval of the minutes.
Mike, move.
Second.
First motion to move by Dean, Mike, and second by Dean. Lisa, can we have roll call, please?
Director Tim Wheeler,
Yes.
Leo Zuber,
Yes.
Mike Restusha,
Yes.
Dean Euchre,
Yes.
Daniel DeGraff.
Yes.
All right, that passes 5-0. Resolution number 1 approves the recognized obligation payment schedule 21-22 for the period of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 22, and directs staff to present it to the Oversight Board for approval. I suppose that's you, Lisa?
I'll take that one.
And you can actually take both of these items together if you would like.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that. 1 and 2.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Basically, yeah, you kind of nailed it in a nutshell here. Every year we go through this. They kind of chopped it down to one recognized obligation payment schedule now for fiscal years. So we are looking at the 21-22 fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2021, running through June 30th, 2022. Obviously, the successor agency did refinance some of the tax allocation bonds. So the amount being requested for this ROPS, as you can see, is quite a bit lower than in the past on the payment that's due this next go around. And then for the admin budget portion of it, we are asking for the minimum that is allowed by state law, or the maximum minimum, whatever way you want to look at it. It's in state law is $250,000. Can be allocated to the jurisdictions for managing the wind down of the agency's redevelopment agency business. So that is what we are anticipating, and that is what we were asking for on the admin budget as well. So I'd be happy to turn it back over to you and answer any questions.
Any questions from council? All right, motion from.
I'll make a motion. We accept both resolutions 1-1 and 1-2.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Please, can we have a roll call, please?
Director Tim Wheeler,
Yes.
Leo Zuber,
Yes.
Mike Restuccia,
Yes.
Dean Euchre,
Yes.
Daniel DeGraff.
Yes.
Both pass 5-0.
All right. With that, meeting adjourned.
Hammer it. Oh, I should have got that on tape.
Over.